Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Box Nation's first ever press conference. I would like to thank you all very much for coming today. You're all very welcome. And I'd particularly like to thank our boxers here today for coming to support us. Thanks, guys. We'll be talking later in the press conference about how they're going to get involved in the channel going forward. But firstly, let me introduce myself. I'm Richard Brooke. I'm chairman of Boxing Channel Media. And we are the owners and operators of Britain's first ever boxing channel. Box Nation, today we can announce, will be launching on Friday the 30th of September at 7 p.m. It'll be available on Sky Channel 456, and we'll announce further distribution deals as time goes on, including with Virgin Media. So I'll tell you now a little bit about the channel and how you get it. Then I'm going to hand over to Simon Green, who's the Chief Executive of Box Nation, and he'll tell you about the content of the channel. And then I'm going to hand over to Frank Warren, and we're delighted to be working with Frank on this channel. And Frank will tell us about the promotions that he's putting on and the boxers that are involved in the channel. So, Box Nation will start off, it'll be a free-to-air channel. So as I say, channel 456, and we'll go free-to-air for the first month or so of operation, and then it'll go on to a pay basis towards the end of the year. It'll be £10 a month, and it'll be a simple registration basis through an online process. It's a UK channel, so it'll be available all over the country through the Sky platform. And again, we're looking at plans for international expansion once we've established a base here in the UK. Our audience is very much the mainstream boxing fan. We know there are 5 million boxing fans in the UK. And of course, that number swells when you've got the really big fights on as well. So we think that's a loyal and committed audience, and we think that's an audience that's underserved by boxing on television at present. We think there's far more demand, and we're looking to fill that in a very innovative and exciting way. Boxing fans typically are a young audience profile, and they're very committed to the sport. So we're delighted to be able to bring them a product that they deserve. Tell you a bit about the company behind Box Nation, Boxing Channel Media. We've put together a very good cast list for this. The channel is going to be operated by people with a lot of experience in the field. Both myself and Simon have come through Sky and also Setanta, and will be assisted by some of the best firms in the business, including Input Media, who are here today, who will be providing the facilities and broadcast services. We can also tell you a little bit about the backing of the channel. Boxing Channel Media is supported by Zoom Communications, which is a large Southeast Asian company and the leading provider of broadcast services in that region. And in the press pack that we're handing out, you'll see that we've got some backup information about that as well. So we've got a good lineup of, we've got a great lineup of boxing. We've got an experienced team behind it. We've got good, strong backing, and we're very much looking forward from Friday, the 30th of September, to a very exciting future. Now, I'm going to ask Simon now to tell us a little bit more about the channel content.
Thank you, Richard. You'll all see from your press packs the extent of the fantastic live content that we are scheduling on the channel as of next Friday, 30th of September. Apart from Frank Warren events and and we have the Golden Boy from the US signed. We have Sauerland signed from Germany. The amount of live content that we intend to put out on the channel on a weekly basis will be approximately 2 promotions every week. This is what we intend to fill the channel with as far as the main element of the content is concerned. And we intend to stick to that. It's an extremely exciting lineup of live events that we've put into the press pack that you'll see going from now through to December. Other content that will appear on the channel. I'm delighted to say that we're reviving Bunsey's Boxing Hour. I'm sure many of you used to watch that on Setanta Sports News. It was a terrific show, it had a terrific following, and it will become part of the regular schedule. We also intend to put out on a daily basis a boxing news update, just to provide viewers with all the latest news from around the world of boxing every day. We intend to put out on the channel mixed martial arts. We're not shying away from that. There'll be no 8-year-olds fighting in cages or anything like that, but we will give proper attention to mixed martial arts and combat sports like that. Presentation-wise, as you saw from the VT that we ran at the top, Jim Rosenthal has committed to the channel and will be our lead presenter. We're absolutely thrilled that he's involved. He's an extremely experienced broadcaster, as are the other members of our talent that we've got lined up, including Paul Dempsey, who many of you will remember from his days at Sky and Setanta, Steve Bunce, who I've already mentioned, and who we believe is the best commentator in the world of boxing, John Rawlings, who I'm delighted to say, along with Steve, is here today. It will be an evolving channel schedule. That's exactly what the nature of boxing is. It's a sport that requires us to be reactive to what's going on in the world of boxing, almost on a daily basis, to make sure that we can keep the schedule entertaining and up to date, and provide our viewers with exactly what they want. The channel is really a celebration of the art of boxing. That's what we want it to be. We've got various taglines that we feel embrace and embody the nature of the channel, what it is. The 3 taglines are Grace and Glory, Life with Guts, and Birth of a Nation. So I'm going to hand you over to Frank Warren, who's going to give you a bit more information about the upcoming fight schedule and the boxers who we've got here today.
Thanks, Simon. Thank you, Simon. Excuse me. For me, this is a bit of a dream come true. For many, many years, I've always felt that boxing, although has been served by television companies in the UK, has basically fitted in and had to fit in around other sports. This is a dedicated channel. This channel is all about boxing. It's about our sport. There's a great live audience out there who want to see the best fights, and we believe that we're going to bring those fights from around the world to the British viewers. We have a fabulous schedule lined up here. Starts on 30th of September, and I'm going to read through them very quickly. They're in the press packs, but as you see, we open up Spiritual Home of Boxing at York Hall, Liam Walsh v Paul Appleby for the Commonwealth Super Featherweight title. Then we're going to amateur boxing. On Wednesday the 5th through to the 8th of October, there'll be the World Amateur Championships live from Azerbaijan. Quarterfinals on the Wednesday, semis on the Friday, and the finals on Saturday, October. Saturday, the 1st of October, we'll be in Germany for the unification match between Steve Cunningham and Pablo Hernandez. That is provided by Sauerland Promotions, who Box Nation have done a 3-year exclusive deal with for all their shows, including their archive, because there'll be a lot of archive content on the channel, you'll be seeing a lot of old fights, some of the best fighters from around the world, some of the fights that you may recall from going back to the days of the 60s and 70s and 80s, all the way through, some great fights for the fans to see. We then go to the Royal Albert Hall, the first boxing to be held at the Royal Albert Hall for I think it's for 12 or 13 years, for the Royal Albert Hall Cup. It's an event between the UK Combined Services against the US Armed Forces, and the winner will get the Royal Albert Hall Cup. It'll be an annual event. Delighted again that that Box Nation is getting involved and getting behind the amateur sport, because without the amateurs, there won't be the professionals. They've got to start somewhere, so it's fabulous for us. The night before the show, which will be on the 6th of October, the Prime Minister and his wife will be holding a reception at Downing Street for the participants, so we're pleased about that. Then we go for the biggie on the 15th of October, double-header live to the Liverpool Echo Arena. Fight that everybody's been waiting for, WBO light heavyweight title between Nathan Cleverly and Tony Bellew, both here today. And then the European and WBO Intercontinental Super Middleweight title fight between Piotr Wilczewski, the champion, against James DeGale. Great show, great fights, fabulous undercard. And to give you even more, we then go over to the Staples Centre into the States to see the WBC light heavyweight title fight between Bernard Hopkins and Chad Dawson. Cracking fight, and what we're looking for, I'm sure you'll get it, is that the winner of our big fight fights the winner of their big fight. They're the type of fights that we want to bring to the fans. Following week we've got Robert Norton fighting Leon Williams. Then we go back to Germany for a unification match between Marco Huck and Wojciech. Friday, 28th of October, Frankie Gavin fighting the number 4 in the world, Gabriel Scabez from Argentina. Then we got a big night at Wembley, again a live double header. We start off at Wembley with Ricky Burns versus Michael Costidis for the WBO interim title. Then George Groves is going to fight Paul Smith for the British and Commonwealth title. Ryan Walsh against Liam Richards for the English title. And in between that, we got the WBO Super Middleweight title between Mikkel Kessler and Robert Stiglitz. And again, it doesn't take a lot of working out to see where we're going with the super middleweights that we're involved with to get the winner along the line in with that fight. And there are many other fights that we'll be announcing towards the end. Lee Selby will be fighting John Simpson on the 18th of October, and many other fights that we'll be announcing in due course. As Simon says, there'll be some mixed martial arts, which will be a further announcement about that in the future. But this is what it's all about. This is about big fights, quality fights from around the world, giving the fans what they want. As it's already been said, it will be going free to air to start with, and then we will be going to encryption for £10 a month. So what do you get for £10 a month? You get 2 live shows per week, live promotions a week. That's £1.50 per show. You know, a pint of beer costs more than that. It's great value for money. This is, as I say, this is something that if you're a fight fan, you can't miss it. Obviously up on the Sky platform on 456, and Virgin, I believe, will be up on their platform soon, amongst a few others that we're talking to. So great exposure for the fighters, and more importantly, the fighters are going to be able to get regular exposure. You know, I've been promoting roughly 8 to 10 fights a year on Sky for the last couple of years. It's not enough for the fighters that I'm involved with. Fabulous to be involved with Sky, fabulous what Sky have done for boxing and continue to do for boxing. I've got a contract there which I'll see out to the end of I think it's the end of June next year. But in the meantime, my guys, my fighters who I've been having to give excuses to why they're not fighting so regularly will now get their fights. It'll be nothing for a young kid turning amateur now to have 6, 8, maybe 10 fights a year, because that's the amount of shows that we have, and that's the potential this channel has to deliver regular work and build stars with. So it's fabulous and great for boxing, and as I say, from my point of view, it is a dream come true, and I'm going to put my heart and soul into this to ensure that it's a success. I'd just like to hand over to my son Francis and other son George, who also will be doing 10 shows a year on the channel under their banner of Queensberry Promotions. They want to just say a quick few words. Over to you, boys.
Thanks. Afternoon, ladies and gents. I just wanted to just a brief word. George and I are very proud that the first ever live show on Box Nation will be promoted by Queensberry Promotions. We're looking forward to a long-standing relationship with Box Nation, and we'll be showcasing the best up-and-coming talent in the UK, as well as developing current domestic title holders into tomorrow's World Championship contenders. George and I are dedicated to promoting exciting fights, quality fights, and we're anticipating a bright future for Queensberry Promotions and Box Nation. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Frank. We're happy now to take any questions that you'd like to throw at us.
There's a microphone here, so if you need to ask a question, you'll bring it to you. Who's first? Well, don't be shy. This is for press. These are questions for the press.
Hi everyone, my name's Apollo James Jackson, and I'd like to
Just
ask...
ask the question.
Sure. I wanted to know, Frank Warren, how did you come up with this idea basically, and what is it you're trying to achieve with it?
Well, it's an idea that, along with other people who I'm going to thank in a moment, who helped us to get us to where we are. I've had for a long time, and I've always felt that there is an audience for boxing in this country. It's been proven over the years. You can go back to the heydays of BBC. 23 million people watched the Baron McGuigan Pedrosa fight. You know, you go back to the Ben Eubank fights, Colin Jones fights, all the way through, big audiences. You even look last week, 4 o'clock in the morning, pay-per-view, £15 on prime time. 40,000 people watched that at 4:30 in the morning. You know, that's a big number for that type of show, and people are paying for it. So we feel there's an audience there, and we're going to deliver to that audience the best. Are there any other questions? Hugh? Oh, sorry. Gentleman there.
Frank, can you tell us roughly how many hours a day you'll be showing?
Right, I'll put you over to Simon on that. That's his department.
The schedule, as I said, it will evolve, but the plan at the moment is to broadcast from 6 o'clock in the evening to midnight, 7 days a week, unless we have events coming in from overseas, then we will schedule accordingly and go through a Friday or a Saturday night if necessary. That's the initial plan, and that's how we'll be launching. But we will evolve that as and when we feel it's necessary if we want to make any changes. But that's the start.
And we're going to interact with the viewers. You know, they're going to have their say in this. We're not just going to put it out and that's it. Every week there will be a live show from Planet. Sorry, this keeps going. Every week, I don't know if you heard me there, but every week there will be a live show from Planet Hollywood in London, magazine program, Bunce's Boxing Hour. We want the viewers to get involved with that. Come along to the Planet Hollywood. You can get involved in the show. Interact through the internet and so forth, texting. So we want to know what the viewers want so that we can deliver it. Are there any more questions? Are we going to see what? Well, I'm sure we are. I mean, that's the name of the game. Let me just tell you something. You know, what I've always done is put my fighters who I work with in with each other if they're at the same weight, because that's what the fans want. We don't keep them apart. We build fights. That's a natural rematch. If something will happen, and I'm sure it's going to happen sometime next year, you know, and it'll make it's even a bigger fight. You've got, first of all, George has got to get through Paul Smith, which will be a tough fight, and James has got to win the European title. But if you know, the winners of those fights will go on and hopefully we'll have some big fights going, you know, that they'll get involved with the ultimate that one of our guys, the last man standing from the UK, will be fighting the winner of the Stiglitz and Kessler fight. That's where we're that's where we're coming from. That's why the channel's done a 3-year deal with Sauerland Promotions, and that's why we're negotiating, and I think we'll do a long-term deal with Golden Boy and other promoters in the States. You know, Golden Boy showed their commitment to the channel. They've agreed that we broadcast the Bernard Hopkins Chad Dawson fight. That tells you where we're coming from. We're going for the best. What do I feel about martial arts? Well, I'll be quite honest, I'm not a fan of mixed martial arts. I'm a boxing man, it's a totally different discipline, but people do like it, and the channel will show it. It's not about what I like, it's what the viewers like, and there is a market there for it, and they can watch it. One thing I'm certain is, we're not going to have young kids fighting on there, that's for sure.
I thought it would be nice to get a reaction from some of the fighters. First of all, Nathan, your thoughts about being on Box Nation?
Well, I knew something like this was being lined up and it was in the pipeline, but obviously it's quite easy to be cynical about a new channel and everything, but coming up here today now I realise how good this could be, and I think everybody else feels the same on the table really. We just sat here and Frank's just got the list by the side of us, and he's reading through some of the fights that's going to be shown. And it's, you know, it looks awesome. You know, it's going to be exciting, I think. And just when boxing needs a lift, I think this channel could get it back to the levels that it was years ago. I think the viewing figures will be good because of the fights. They look great, and we got a full table here of young talent coming through. And every fighter, you know, is a great talent on their own to be shown on the new channel, and along with the other fights from around the world, all the world title fights with Golden Boy and Sauerland Promotions. They're all the best promoters in the world with the best fighters, so I think this is going to be awesome. I really do.
And your thoughts, Tony, being part of this as well?
It's a fantastic opportunity for all the fighters sitting here and, you know, everybody involved. I've never heard a schedule so exciting in all my life, to be totally honest. So, you know, the schedule that's just been read out is second to none, and for so many companies to be involved in such a big thing, it is massive for boxing, and that's what the most important thing is here. Everybody should remember that we're all here for one thing and one thing only, and that's boxing. And we've now got a channel dedicated to it, and I think, as I say, it's massive for the sport, and a credit's got to go to these guys who have made it happen, because without them our sport was suffering. And as I say, you know, 8 shows a year for as many talented fighters as we have on our books, it just wasn't enough, and now they're all going to get an opportunity to shine and, you know, further their careers and do better for themselves on a whole.
I just want to say that the shows at the moment going out on Friday nights and Saturdays, and the Friday nights will be for the younger fighters coming through, the Saturday nights for the guys in the big fights. So they've all got something to, you know, the younger fighters have all got something to aim for, to become Saturday night top quality prime time boxers. And if they get there and get the ratings, yeah, these guys can, it adds to their earning power. Because that's what it's going to be about at the end of the day. We've got to get viewers, and the way we attract the viewers is with good fighters and good fights. So it's actually in their hands.
And for you as well, James, you'll be on the same show at Liverpool Echo Arena on Box Nation.
I'm just going to echo what Tony Bell you said. It's fantastic that if you're a boxing fan, the channel's great, and the lineup that Frank just read out, you're in for a treat.
And on the 28th, you'll be on as well, Frankie.
Yeah, can't wait. Get back in Birmingham as well, so it'll be good. But like I'm saying, it's just that it's the new channel, and I'm right behind it, and I think we all are.
And for you, George, Wembley on the 5th of November.
That's right, Wembley on the 5th of November. It's going to be very good. I don't think I can add to anything anyone said. Looking forward to it. I hope it succeeds. I think it's a great idea.
There's going to be fireworks on the 5th, I promise you. Can we put the lights up a bit? It's very difficult to see who's speaking. Thank you. Well, they haven't given it to us. There was a little bit of a negotiation. But.
So you've got the next Golden Boy Hopkins Dawson
Yep.
fight on your channel, what's the nature of their commitment? If Southland was signed for 3 years, what's the nature of the Golden Boy?
You know, they like, you know,
commitment?
I've been talking to Richard Schaefer, I've been talking to Bob Aaron, I've been talking to lots of people about it, and they're showing commitment to it. And it's what it is. This is not a multi-sport channel. It is what it says up there. It's boxing. And what we're all about is bringing the best. And, you know, I've always tried to do the best in everything I do. And that from my point of view, I will make sure that we're in there and with a shout, getting the best fights. You know, as I said before, we're not in competition with Sky. Sky are a multi-sport channel who've done a great service for boxing and still continue to do so. And I'm still contracted to do some shows with them. So, you know, but for us, this is what we are. You want boxing, this is the place to be, and we will be doing deals with all the big promoters.
The reason I ask is, if it's an ongoing commitment, what's the likelihood of Amir Khan appearing on this channel, given the past relationship you
Listen,
had?
if we can do a deal with his people, then we'll do a deal with them. Or not me, if I'll do the deal, it'll be up to these guys on my left. You know, I'm delivering my fights. Their job is to go out and buy fights from other promoters.
Frank, I was just wondering if there was anything in the pipeline for Derek Chisora, or if his no-show suggests otherwise.
He will be fighting. Sorry, where was that question? Right.
Yes.
Derek will be fighting soon, but we don't know where he is at the moment.
Thanks.
He's in the post. Yes, can we microphone there, please? To Alan.
Frank, is there any chance that you might eventually go into the pay-per-view market?
I don't see at the moment that's where we're aiming for. We're obviously be a subscription channel in due course, but pay-per-view, we're miles away from that. We're miles away from that. Gentleman at the back there.
Frank, how many subscribers are you aiming for in the first year, or how many does it need to kind of sustain?
As many as we can get. What do we need? We need to be getting at least 100,000 at least to start with. And you've got to look at the ratings for fights that are on, for example, you know, recently Channel 5. I think that fight last weekend with Tyson Fury peaked at 1.6 million people. Sky's audiences for a decent show are never less than 150,000. So we should easily do that. Last year when we did the show at West Ham, that peaked at 500,000. So there is an audience there who want to see the fights, and you know, as I said, for the next few months, this is free to air on the platform.
And I'll just add to that, Frank, if I can. I think there's sort of two questions really. One is how many do we want, and the second question is how many do we need? We don't need a massive number of subscribers in order to make this channel work, because of the way that it's set up, because of our close links in with the rights holders, particularly Frank. This is a channel that can be profitable on a relatively low number of subscribers. However, what we're aiming for, of course, is a much bigger number, and Frank's talked about 100,000. We think we can take it beyond that, given the quality of the fights that we have, and given we've just seen, and Frank's quoted some numbers there, we've just seen how many people there are who want to watch boxing, who want to watch the big fights. We've all of us have been involved in paid television for a while now, and the boost that you get when you've got a big fight on a Friday or a Saturday night, people coming into the channel, you know, there are big numbers involved there. But in terms of what do we need, you know, we've set our sights at what we think is a very realistic level.
Are there any more questions?
No?
Are we all done? Can you say a couple of thank yous?
Yes, please.
I'd like to thank the people who helped us get this on the air. Obviously, Simon and Richard, who've been unbelievable in supporting it. I'd like to thank Dave Wood from Input Media, Trevor East from Pitch International, Zoom, Rashmi and Gulshan, Peter Abbey, Giles Thomas from Branded, Jonathan Crystal, Kevin McGuinness and Mike Goodall, and everybody else, in case I forgot anybody who's helped us to get where we are. We're up and running.
Ed Hall from Canis, I'd like to thank him
Sorry,
as well.
sorry. We're up and running 30th September. Watch it. It's a cracking fight. Spiritual home of boxing, York Hall, Liam Walsh, Paul Appleby, and it gets better after that. Thank you very much for coming along today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.